Hello, welcome back. Now we've got our pattern pieces cut out. We've probably got 4 of these, or 2 of those and 2 of those and 2 of these. Now if you're going to have a paw pad, this is what you'll have. What we need to do is make sure we're sewing our paw pad on the right way round. To do that, first we need to decide if we've got a double-sided fabric. What I mean by that is, I'll use this as a demonstration. This is the back, obviously the back of the fur fabric, and this is the front with the furry side. Now you'd want to sew your 2 furry sides, if you're using fur, together, so facing each other. So when you turn it in the right way, you've got your fur on the outside. Now you need to do that also on your paw pads. So this one, I'm not sure you can see this very clearly. It's got a texture on one side and it's smooth on the other. Now you need to decide if you want the texture out or the smooth side out. And I've chosen to have the texture on the outside. So you need to make sure that when you sew them together, that is on the inside. So when you turn it out, it's on the outside, on the right side. And also with the paw pad, you've got to make sure it's round the right way. Now to do this, you need to match your sides with your other one. Put it on top of the other arm like this, and then match it up. Now if it's like that, then obviously it's not matched up, it doesn't fit, it's wrong. So you put it the other way around, and now that fits. That's the right shape. So you make sure that when that's the right shape, you've also got the right side showing upwards. So when you turn it over, the right side is facing down. Turn it over like that, you get your pin, and you can then pin that together along here, and then once it's done, you can see that it will turn out the right way. Now here's one I've already done. This is one arm. I've stitched the paw pad on first. You stitch that paw pad on first, and then you can carry on and go round and stitch the rest of the arm. So you stitch again, you leave the top open and you stitch around the arm, right around over the join here, all the way around and round to the end there. You leave this open again for turning in the right way and also adding our joints later on. That's your paw pad, your arm completed. Now you do that twice, obviously, for 2 arms. And once you've done that, you can turn them in the right way. Now, this can be a little bit tricky, but you can do it with just your fingers, or you can use something like a crochet hook to push it through. Don't use anything pointed because it's going to pierce your fabric and you'll end up with holes. But push it through. Keep going until you've got it all through. And I mean, some people use chopsticks or anything really that's not sharp. Don't use knitting needles. I mean, you can use, if you've got blunt scissors like this, you can use those, but be careful you don't snip anything. Just to push it out. Make sure your edges are pushed out. And there's your little bear paw pad and his arm. And that's your little arm done. So you do 2 of those. Next, we'll talk about the head. Now, the head is a bit of a strange one. We have 2 head pieces here, and we have another piece that on your pattern piece should be marked as head gusset or gusset. And this looks like a bowling pin really. Now you should have had transferred your mark to there. Now, when you're sewing your bear head, this is the center of the head. This is important, otherwise you'll just have a flat head. So this gives your head the shape. Now when you're putting this together, start at the bottom here and pin it around. this is the top bit, this piece here with the mark on it is the top of the nose, the front of the nose. So you pin this all the way around like this. It's a bit fiddly and it looks a bit awkward and a bit wrinkly when you first do it, but once it's stitched it makes sense. Pin that all the way around like this, matching the curve. Bring that round to make it curved. Pin it carefully round all the way. So that your point, the end, comes to the tip of your nose. There. Like I said, it might look a bit wrinkly, but it will fit. That's that one piece there. And then you have to pin the other piece the same on the other side. Start at the neck. I'll show you again because it is very fiddly. Start at the neck here. Now, so I'll kind of manipulate it to tease it round to fit. My fabric's quite thick and it's hard to get the pins in. Hopefully you're not having that problem. So keep going until you've got it all pinned in. Coming to the end here. And there is your last piece there, it fits there. And then once you've done that, once you've got that all pinned in, you'll see that it matches down here as well. So you can then pin that around. To the nose. Now, when you're stitching, I advise you to stitch this piece in first. Stitch that piece up there, and then you can really manipulate and fiddle around with your fabric here to get it in position and make it fit nicely. So it's a bit of a fiddle. You have to just keep teasing it out and teasing it around, but it will work. It will work. If you persevere, it will work. And your center mark that you made there matches this seam here, so you can stitch through both sides there. Okay. And now we've pinned that all together, we need to sew it with our back stitch. Come up and go to your nose, stitch right up to your nose. Keeping a nice narrow seam along here. Go all the way to the nose. Okay, so when you reach top of your nose here, you've got to decide which way you want to go from there. Now, get as far close to the top, like so you'll equal like 2 millimeters away from the top, 2 or 3 millimeters depending on how big your seam is, and then pull your nose round and come up on that line there if you can, on that line there, but a seam allowance away from the edge. And then you start kind of going around this way and doing your back stitch around the edge here, top of the gusset. Fiddly and a little bit difficult to do this section, so take your time, don't try and rush through it. Take your time, go slowly, and then you should be okay. Now if you look on the top, it's come round here, and then with that, the next one, when you get round to there, you finish off and you'll go and start at this end here, start this here, and start working back down that way, turn it round and go that way round. I hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions about this one, it's like I say, it's a bit of a fiddly one. If you've got any questions, then write them in the comments down below, and I'll see what I can answer them for you. I hope you enjoy this, and you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you again soon with the next tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye.